Hello and welcome. There's something refreshing about hearing directly from the driver of change. No filters, no scripts, just clarity and convictions. On this special edition of The Shipper, we take you behind the scenes into an exclusive interview with the Executive Secretary and CEO of Nigerian Shippers Council, Dr. Pius Akuta MON. From reforms to regulatory strides, he shares insights into how the Council is transforming Nigeria's maritime sector. We'll also bring you updates from the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. The latest happenings in the maritime world on our Tidbit segment with Idowu Ogungbemi will surely feature in its usual place of pride. Get comfortable. We'll be right back after the short break.
For more than 5 decades, we have empowered and protected the interests of shippers in the nation's maritime industry. Our focus is to facilitate trade, regulate tariffs and rates, as well as handle shippers' complaints on cargo losses, damage and non-delivery. We offer dispute resolution mechanism for shipping and trade disputes between shippers and service providers. We are Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator, your gateway to a thriving maritime sector. Nigerian Shippers Council will meet you at the port of your need.
Welcome back. You are watching The Shipper, the flagship television program that brings you everything maritime, proudly brought to you by the Nigerian Shippers Council, the nation's port economic regulator. I am Victoria Yavala. Today's edition features a special sit-down interview with the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Dr. Pius Akuta MON. In this conversation with the News Agency of Nigeria, he addresses pressing industry issues from shipping charges to inland logistics, trade facilitation, and key reforms shaping the future of the maritime sector. Let's now join Lucy Yambi as she guides us through highlights from the session compiled by the Shippers correspondents.
In line with its statutory role as Nigeria's port economic regulator, Nigerian Shippers Council has remained intentional about reforms that strengthen trade facilitation, reduce bottlenecks, and promote fairness across the logistics chain. The appointment of Dr. Akuta Pius MON as the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian Shippers Council came at a nick of time when the services of the legal luminary is highly required not only in the Council but also in the maritime sector to meet the federal government's aspiration on the Renewed Hope agenda and the diversification of Nigeria's economy from oil to non-oil sector. To shed light on recent achievements and ongoing efforts, the Executive Secretary and CEO of the Council, Dr. Pius Akuta MON, in an interview with the News Agency of Nigeria, articulated the Council's recent rise in visibility, highlighting key reforms that have strengthened operational discipline and efficiency.
I have served this country in the capacity of being a prosecutor for so many years. 18 years I've been a prosecutor. And as prosecutor, we are not heard out openly in the public. We are only seen when we carry our actions in the courtroom. So maybe for lack of ventilating all that is within me, maybe I bottled so many things. So when I came on board, I needed to do something different and also to complement what Mr. President and the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy were already doing before my coming on board. And looking at the Shippers Council, it's one very critical agency that needs to support the economic policies of this government for it to make a serious impact in the port sector. So we needed to do something differently from what used to be by getting directly involved with the stakeholders across board, both the public stakeholders and the private stakeholders. And we bring everybody on board. Within the agency itself, there has been very huge resources, human resources available for us to use. So it was just awakening everybody to say, look, there's work to do. Let us go and do the work.
The interview also touched on the expansion of the Truck Transit Park scheme and how it's being leveraged to reduce accidents and delays along transport corridors.
Vehicle transit parks are very critical to our mandate because we are promoting the development of critical infrastructures in the hinterlands, which Vehicle Transit Park is one of them. We are also promoting the development of inland dry ports to bring port facilities closer to the shippers at their doorstep in the hinterlands. And now, Transit Park, yes, they are very critical because Nigerian Shippers Council undertook a study which showed that most of the accidents we have on our roads today are as a result of fatigued drivers. You know, drivers driving for several hours without stopping to rest because of non-availability of parks along the ways for them to park and rest and refresh and continue their journey. We also look at, there's an African Charter on movement of vehicles on the roads, and it also gave time limit within which a driver can continuously be on the road, which is 7 hours. But unfortunately, you will see that that has not been implemented over the years. So the development of transit parks is not just to create critical transport infrastructures, but also to avoid some of the accidents that happens on our roads today, and also to create an environment for security of cargo, so where drivers can stop by and rest in a very secured environment where they can lodge, where there are other economic activities happening. So the Shippers Council has been promoting that.
On nighttime cargo operations and trade-related disputes, the Executive Secretary and CEO explained the measures being adopted by the Council to ensure stakeholder expectations are met.
One of our mandates is to ensure that we set standards, and those standards are geared towards achieving efficiency of the port sector. So we have standards, and then we ensure compliance with those standards. We monitor them, and then we have a compliance unit in the agency. We have an enforcement unit that goes out to ensure that players in the industry play by the standards so as to be able to meet up the expected efficiency in the sector. That is ongoing process. We also have a unit that deals with complaints. So when there are complaints that come to the council, they go to that unit, and the unit is sufficiently empowered to deal with those complaints. And if you look at our website, you'll see a number of complaints that are being resolved on a weekly basis and on a daily basis. Even if you watch our program, The Shipper, which airs on TVC every 8:30 every Tuesday, you will see that the complaints unit, we roll out some of the complaints that have been handled within the last week and those that have been resolved. And some of these complaints involve huge amount of money that would have left the economy. For instance, last year I was in Kano, and a young man started a business, ginger business, but he didn't quite consult anyone, so he was not knowledgeable about the export business, and he went into the business. He was about to lose $70,000 US dollars in that one singular transaction he did. He was going to lose the money. But during one of our stakeholders in Kano, where I was present, the issue came up, and within 24 hours, that issue was resolved, and the company paid back the $70,000 to him. And then we had to link him up with the appropriate persons that we school him on that kind of business that he wanted to go into.
One issue that continues to raise concern is the imposition of illegal surcharges. Dr. Akuta spoke on actions taken by the Council and provided an update on the status of the Cargo Defense Fund and its role in protecting the shippers.
Some time ago, we had a matter in court where the issue of surcharges came up, and the court ruled on behalf of the Nigerian shippers that these companies should pay back certain amount of money to cover surcharges that were illegally imposed within a period of time. And we are negotiating with various shipping companies and terminal operators to be able to pay back those surcharges. But I must say to you that at the moment, no company has imposed any surcharge, illegal surcharges, because we deal with those issues quite often. Recently, you will hear there was a lot of news going out there that one of the terminal operators had imposed a certain tariff which was not approved. But we came up clearly to clarify the issue, and we said no, we actually approve that limit, that upper limit, which was not implemented by them, and they were only implementing what was already approved in 2023. So we are very serious about illegal surcharges, and wherever any shipping company dares to put up any illegal surcharge, we will take it down, and not only take it down, but we implement the full weight of our regulatory authority. The Cargo Defense Fund was set up by the Nigerian Shippers Council to pool resources into the fund to take care of interests of shippers in accordance with our mandate. And some time ago, the fund became moribund because of insustainability of the fund, because no contributions were coming in, so the fund became moribund. But luckily for us, the case I told you about, which is still at the Supreme Court, the court ruled that the shipping companies and terminal operators should pay certain money back to the Nigerian Shippers Council Cargo Defense Fund for the purpose of taking care of interest of shippers. Now, that is the fund that we are negotiating with some of the shipping companies. Some have started paying back into the fund, and the Honorable Minister has directed us to come up with an SOP, a standard operating procedure, that will guarantee a level of corporate governance of the fund and put it in the hands of shippers so that we can manage the fund and have it sustainable going forward. We're looking at different aspects of provisions in the SOP, including even investing part of that fund to make it sustainable so that it will continue to build up, and then part of it will be used for the interest of shippers as we go on.
On the matter of unreturned empty containers and its impact on cargo clearance timelines, the Council is not keeping silent. The Executive Secretary and CEO explained the reasons behind the delay and its effect on port operations.
As the Port Economic Regulator, it is our responsibility to ensure that these issues are dealt with as they appear and dealt with more very succinctly. So recently, you will hear in the news also about shipping companies refusing to take empty containers, and the port was becoming choked up and clogged, and is affecting clearance processes. The Honourable Minister immediately drew my attention to that. He was attending the IMO meeting in London, but he called and was very worried. So we began our investigation into the matter. But we now realize that this was something that happened some time ago, and we had already dealt with it, that now came up again in the newspapers. This happens once in a while, and that not that shipping companies are refusing to take empty containers. When there is a contract between a shipper and a shipping company of whatever nature, the shipping company cannot breach the terms of the contract.
Giving insight into the Council's mediation efforts, the NSC boss shared statistics on resolved trade-related disputes within the last year.
Last year alone, we saved the economy about $6 billion from conflict resolution. You know that maritime conflicts are time-consuming and very expensive. Just the arrest of one ship alone, hundreds of thousands of dollars will go down in legal fees, and the delays that are caused may create multiple financial effects in the economy of the country and even the economies of other countries if these goods are being exported. So we try to avoid those kind of conflicts from, first of all, going into the law court. So we have some arbitrations that we carry out to ensure that we don't allow these cases to go into court and prolong and then a lot of resources are put into it. So last year alone, we saved the country over 6 billion naira in resolution of those conflicts. This year, I will not be able to give you the figures as I sit here. But in terms of the number of cases, recently we have seen that number progressing, very large numbers coming in. From the Maritime Police, we receive a lot of requests, for conflict resolution. And then from the operators in the sector as well as shippers, we receive so many of those complaints. Even the ones that I received last week alone, I may not be able to put them in the figure.
Despite the Council's notable achievements and as expected, the journey hasn't been without its share of challenges. The Executive Secretary and CEO offered a candid look at the roadblocks to progress.
Anywhere in the world, it's not just in Nigeria, you have challenges when you want to reform. The President himself is having a lot of challenges in the reforms that he is introducing. Sometimes people are used to a particular way of doing things. They want that particular way of doing things to remain the status quo. They're not happy when there are changes coming in. We notice that in as much as everybody is yearning for efficiency of the sector, people still don't understand why there should be the Port Economic Regulatory Agency coming up on board. And people are afraid of what the law seeks to achieve. But I keep telling people that the simple thing about the new law, which we're introducing, is that it guarantees the efficiency of the sector by protecting the investments, most of which is foreign direct investment. It also guarantees that those people who cause problem in the industry no longer have a field there in causing those problems.
From this interview, it's clear that the Council's approach remains proactive, stakeholder-focused, and anchored on institutional reforms that are delivering real impact in transforming Nigeria's ports, more efficient trade hubs, driving growth for the nation's economy.
There you have it. Key insights from the Nigerian Shippers Council on tackling port efficiencies, safety concerns, and illegal charges. With ongoing reforms and proactive measures, the Council remains committed to streamlining Nigeria's maritime trade and boosting economic growth. Nigeria's Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola CON, has called on international investors to seize the vast opportunities in Nigeria's maritime and blue economy, describing the sector as a gateway to Africa's economic transformation. Speaking at the London International Shipping Week, Oyetola, represented by NIMASA's Director General, Dr. Dayo Moboireola, highlighted Nigeria's commitment to regulatory reforms, port modernization, maritime security, and sustainable shipping practices. He pointed to the Lekki Deep-Sea Port as a symbol of public-private partnership success and stressed Nigeria's readiness to serve as the maritime hub for West and Central Africa. The minister also used the platform to canvass support for Nigeria's election into Category C of the IMO Council, promising that a vote for Nigeria is a vote for Africa's stronger voice in the global maritime governance. It's now time to join Idowu Ogungbemi on our tidbit segment for local and international maritime stories.
Hello and welcome to the tidbit segment of The Shipper. I am Idowu Ogungbemi and we've got some interesting stories and updates from the maritime sector. Stay glued and let's get started. In a bid to promote inter-agency collaboration, the Federal Road Safety Corps has trained the Nigerian Shippers Council staff as special marshals. The training workshop was held at the Council's headquarters in Lagos recently. In a welcome address, the Deputy Director, Stakeholder Services of the Council, Mrs. Anna Adaba, said NSC and FRSC put up the training workshop for staff in order to expose them to practical knowledge of special marshals. Adaba urged the personnel to pay more attention to the facilitators.
This program is designed to equip us with knowledge and skills required to handle our duties as special marshal. In Nigerian Shippers Council, we are committed to excellence, and this training is to help us achieve that. This training is going to be centered in 3 different areas. We are going to be looking at patrol procedures, special marshal guideline, then also be going through how to handle defensive driving and its techniques. Is well packed. So I encourage you all to pay attention, take notes, and make it a very interactive section.
In a goodwill message, their Papa Unit Commander, CRC Kellensin Makanto, said that the Special Marshals training would complement the FRSC's efforts in ensuring road safety. She noted that the partnership between the Shippers Council and FRSC would further strengthen Apapa's standing and improve road safety measures in the area.
Special Marshals, what do we do? What are our roles? Basically, we do traffic control within our jurisdiction. That's the basic thing we do. And how do we do it? From time to time, when the road is choked up or when our services are needed, we need to be there. And when we talk about safer lives, we enlighten people. How do you come in? All will be taught today. How do you come in when we enlighten people? You come in by participating in person and by sponsoring our events. Sponsoring our events we have flyers. You can produce flyers as a unit. Produce flyers that will help. We will share it in churches, in mosques, markets, schools, and so on. Those are ways you contribute to the growth of the units and to the growth of road safety and for saving lives.
We encourage you to follow our social media pages at NG Shippers on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube for the latest updates, events, and information. Let's take a look at our complaint register for the week. The Nigerian Shippers Council has received 5 complaints. While 3 of these complaints have been resolved, 2 are still ongoing investigation. The complaints include conspiracy, forgery, illegal collection of money, missing items, and damaged goods. We encourage stakeholders to visit our website at www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng for more information or to lodge their concern. That wraps up this week's segment of Tidbit on the Shipper. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week with more insights, trends, and key development from across the maritime industry. Until then, stay informed and stay safe.
For more than 5 decades, we have empowered and protected the interests of shippers in the nation's maritime industry. Our focus is to facilitate trade, regulate tariffs and rates, as well as handle shippers' complaints on cargo losses, damage and non-delivery. We offer dispute resolution mechanism for shipping and trade disputes between shippers and service providers. We are Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator, your gateway to a thriving maritime sector. Nigerian Shippers Council will meet you at the port of your need.
Thank you for sailing with us on the Shipper today. It is a voyage not without storm, but one with a steady hand at the helm. Keep your compass set to progress by following us on our social media platforms at NG Shippers for more news, reports, and exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Until next time, here's wishing you fair winds, calm waters, safe anchorage, and a swimmingly great week ahead.